welcome everybody to EMP Money. My name is AJ. I am the team lead here, and we have a very, very special daily live AMA today. As usual, we go live. We've been doing it about every other day now, but we always want to bring you the most up-to-date alpha and news around EMP. And we have such a jam-packed AMA today that we skipped our video intro, so I can introduce our guest live. So I'm happy to introduce Owen from Magic Finance, or what is now going to be Magic World, a true online play to earn game. I'm sure Owen will correct me on some of these things, but we actually have some super incredible alpha footage of the game as well. So let me go ahead and pull up my live stream. While I do that, Owen, it's a pleasure to have you here. Again, bro, really happy to partner with you guys on this. The mint went live at about noon today. So maybe while I pull up the live stream and you show us around, maybe just start with kind of a little bit of your background, Magic, and then the transition into Magic World. So go ahead, man. Happy to have you.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us. I was saying to the Telegram community, I did a little pitch. I thought we were live earlier, so apologies if I am repeating myself to you guys. But yeah, I'm Magic Owen. I advise the Magic team ever since I think last March, at the beginning of March, so about 8 months. Basically, it was a protocol similar to EMP, a seigniorage protocol launched on Phantom. We did a lot of evolution, and sort of long story short, ended up changing a lot of the fundamental underpinnings of the protocol. It's no longer an inflationary protocol, so there are no more boardroom or printer inherent to it. And we have switched sort of 100% to being, on the one hand, servicing protocols like EMP on Magic Farm, and then building the sort of gaming extension and expression of a decentralized, world in World of Magic. And we couldn't be more happy to be working with you guys on this because there's a lot of really cool stuff coming.
Yeah, no doubt, bro. I couldn't agree more. Again, we've always been, kind of in bed together with the Magic Auto Vault, but this is the next step in that. Again, the Magic Auto Vaults are not going anywhere. That will run simultaneously with this new, main focus. And yeah, I mean, it's been a great journey so far. I love that you guys are building. The fact that there is an actual working game is pretty incredible. And yeah, I mean, we're gonna go through all that right now. So I guess just kind of give us a little bit overview of kind of the game mechanics. I mean, obviously, this is alpha. The beta will launch in hopefully a few more weeks. Until then, you have time to pick up the faction NFTs. And so again, there's a lot of info I want to cover, but let's just kind of start with like an overview of what Magic World is and the Magic arena. And again, show us all the awesome animations here. So go for it.
100%. Yeah. So basically, way back in March, we had decided we wanted to build a game, and that's what our focus. We wanted to build a sort of MMORPG. We had various influences like RuneScape and World of Warcraft, a couple other games that we were looking at. But how do you get from sort of 0 to 1 on an MMORPG? That's a huge, huge project. So the area we've chosen to focus on is PvP. Because that's a sort of great area for us to really scale depth in combat and, build a really sleek user experience. So, people who want to come play can come into the game and fight. And just, it's really easy to interact. All of the transactions are really smooth and seamless. And then I think one of the things that, other protocols that have attempted to do that I think we were approaching from a slightly different angle is building a real economy around self-custodied assets in game. So for instance, if you see this is, I can walk around and here is the weapons merchant. So if I want to go talk to him and mint a weapon, I could go do this. This would trigger a transaction. I'd mint this NFT. that would go through. And then as soon as that goes through, you'll see right now, it doesn't appear in my, oh, there, just popped up. So now I can equip it and use it. So we're working on building out a lot more depth to the item sets. Obviously, each faction is going to have its own unique weapon, and those will be supply capped. So EMP will obviously get the detonator, which will have an area of effect splash attack. But there's going to be a lot more sort of differentiation between the factions going forward. So
Yeah,
yeah, sort of watch this space for that. So basically the premise is when you are in the arena, you'd enter and it's basically a player lobby and you can fight. In the next patch, how it'll work is you can bulk purchase lives. You can purchase, 1 to 1,000, however many you want at once, 1 life per magic, and every killing blow will get you 1 magic. So basically, the idea being that, I kill you, I take your loot, you kill me, you take your loot. I take your loot, excuse me. And then we scale that to factions and we get, huge player battlegrounds where we're playing games like Capture the Flag with, 60 people or more. And that's sort of the stuff that I'm really excited about. We plan to make EMP a faction headquarters in game. So you guys will have a community space that you can meet up and hang out in. The faction NFTs will also display relevant stats about you, and they're going to sort of level up as your faction tiers up in game and wins objectives and battlegrounds. So yeah, lots of exciting stuff. I'd love to get into more details and answer questions, but
for sure.
for now, I
Yeah,
can just
no,
run around and show you
yeah,
some of these
exactly.
things.
Yeah, we're just gonna watch you kill shit. No, I love it. So yeah, I mean, again, this is a high level overview today. It is a working product. When Owen first showed me this, I was like blown away at how much they've been able to accomplish in a few
Oh, and
short
by the way,
months.
anybody
Yeah.
can go to this link and jump into game if they want and to just take a look.
Yeah, totally. And I think we'll show our Mint page. They can get to it from the Mint page, I think, right, Owen? Or how do they get to? We can go over that now, I guess.
So
Yeah,
the
how do they
Mint
get to it?
page, which you've posted, I can't remember if that's not up there. Then I'll tell Jimmy to add that there. But if you go to worldofmagic.com, there's a play now button, which will take you to testnet.worldofmagic.com.
Perfect. Yep, there you go. So you guys can get right on now. All right, let's get into a little bit more of the logistics behind it, Owen. So again, this will actually be cross-chain, and so while we're actually minting these NFTs, so first of all, I guess again to back up, what is this mint? What does it do? And as far as like what does the NFT get you? And then how are you guys implementing, the actual cross chain? Like, do I need to know how to use Phantom? Just maybe kind of go into those logistics if I want to get involved.
For sure. So, in reverse order, yeah, we're a Phantom-based protocol. We're launching the game on Phantom, but we're planning on making easy on-roads from other chains. I mean, our Magic and I'm sure are both already cross-chained to BSC, AVAX, and Aurora and Chronos. So, making that transition isn't necessarily difficult. It's just a matter of figuring out where to see that liquidity. And also building out the game functionality. But that'll be something we do. We have a sort of an idea in mind of how to implement that with that live system where you could sort of purchase them from any chain and then they're held server side. So that's really easy to sort of deal with because you're only dealing with, a single or a couple transactions from a user standpoint. So it becomes way less clunky to try and build out an entire system on a new chain. So we think that'll actually be a really, really quick process, a relatively quick process to implement, and we'll be on BSC in no time. Okay, after that, the NFT. So we're taking a slightly different approach to this. If you can think of it sort of like an in-game starter pack, it has some of these sort of ideas and characteristics that you'd expect from, DeFi NFTs. But it also has a bunch of in-game features, and that's sort of what I want to focus on. So initially, you will get when the game launches, you'll get an airdrop of Magic, which lets you just immediately start playing or buying items or doing whatever you want. It'll get you some phantoms, so you have gas immediately, so you don't have to like bridge over or go to a faucet. And then you'll get a rare melee weapon, the EMP Detonator, the faction weapon, and a faction NFT, which is stakeable and tiers up and gets new benefits as EMP completes objectives in the game. And those are things I want to be clear about that. Those aren't things that have been implemented yet. Those are things that we're working to build. So this will be a process over the next weeks and months of building these things sort of together. You know, depending on how you look at it, that'll either be sort of, you know, really exciting or, I'm very eager to get to the point where we can, you know, be, you know, 40v40 playing like big Smash Wars.
Yeah.
And we'll get there.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. I think that was a great overview. Again, all this is seamless. I know the live stream today makes it appear a bit choppy, but everything once you actually go to this magic,
Probably
yeah,
just my VPN
it is,
on the
yeah, and
streaming.
both of us, I
Yeah.
know, and even me on my end. Usually, my live streams are choppy. So, but yeah, I mean, it's a working product. Again, the idea now is to just scale and implement this, and you know. It's beneficial to all the factions involved. So I guess just touch on that one more time, Owen, about how kind of the in-game economics are going to work. How many factions? I think you guys already have about five that are involved, and how it actually ends up being a burn mechanism for those tokens, or at the very least, an added use case. So yeah, go ahead.
So there's a lot of depth here that we can go into. So it just takes a little bit of imagination on behalf of the user. So if you can sort of imagine a world in which, let's say we have 1,000 users and there are rare items that people are vying for and playing competitions, fighting raid bosses, these things, etc. Each faction will have its own HQ. It'll be given, its armory will be given regular sort of installments of different assets like weapons to distribute to its users. So they'll have sort of armories to give to their warriors as they go along. So these are sort of like one of the benefits to being in a faction. Um, of course, these factions are going to want to attract the most competitive players. So they'll want to sort of like bribe their most elite warriors to make sure that they stay and fight for them. Um, but yeah, like, you know, when we get to that point, we have an auction house in game. EMP gets to the point where it's custodying its own sort of faction assets, and it becomes an in-game vendor storefront for EMP where it can price those assets in whatever it wants. So, like, if you sort of think long angle, these vendor spaces become just, you know, gaming extensions of ecosystems that already exist. It's like if, you know, the DEX is a layer which exists on top of a blockchain. You know, Magic World would be a layer which exists on top of EMP.
Yeah, no, I love it. And so, and even down to, I know, a lot of people use the word metaverse. I think it's overused. But in this
Yeah,
case,
I was trying
yeah,
to steer clear of
yeah,
that word.
yeah,
I
no
was
doubt,
like, I
yeah.
wanted to say it, but I didn't. I was
Yeah.
like, I can't.
I know, me and you've had that talk for sure. But to that point, there is even an option where people could interact with these protocols like in game as a secondary UI, right? Like if we made our own little
Oh,
house.
100%,
Yeah, totally.
100%. No, I mean, we're looking to factions and to you guys for sort of direction on development and culture. We want this to very much be an open and collaborative process, and to open up, you know, more as we move forward and incorporate more factions and scale to more users. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, man, it's all really really exciting stuff. I just couldn't be more happy to have you guys on board and supporting it.
Yeah, no doubt, brother. I mean, I see the vision. I hope a lot of our community sees the vision. And like Owen said, yes, it's a working product, but the economy, the onboarding, the scaling, I mean, all that is still a little bit up in the air. They have a solid roadmap for 2023. The mint right now will last until the beta actually launches. So if people
Yeah, that
want to
we're
get in,
looking
yeah,
at
go
a
ahead. Yeah.
tentative date of like second week in January for that,
Okay.
tentatively.
Perfect.
It's dependent on sort of development and testing. We're really close. there's just we want to there's some depth we want to scale. We want some of the faction stuff to be really cooler. I don't know the extent to which your community is exposed to the idea of like NFTs as identifiers or as identity, but like um,
Yeah, go into that for sure. I mean,
you
yeah,
so like for instance, what faction you belong to will be displayed prominently above your character, as well as like what mint number you are. So like you'll be able to, that'll be sort of a flex and a rank in game. And it's not up to us, but it's up to those factions themselves, and we can work with them on this to sort of reward those early mentors for being early adopters and testers of this game, because we're going to need a lot of feedback when we're balancing and playtesting. Um, and we'll want all the criticism that we can get so that we can make the game better.
totally.
That's our goal.
No, and I love
Um,
that. And that shows that, you guys are, building for the future, listening to the community, getting feedback. And, I know a lot of us are used to, and this is no shade, but a lot of us are used to, card game based, blockchain games, or things that are much less robust, than an actual PvP environment. So I think it's really exciting. I love, again,
can
everything
I
that you guys
say,
are
I
doing.
will just say,
Please.
if somebody made a like digital asset card game that was like on the level of Magic, I would absolutely, I would spend so much money on that shit for sure.
Yeah,
Like
man,
I love Magic
you
so
got
much.
totally. You got to check out Splinterlands. So they're another one of our partners, and they have it, bro. It's like a mix between Magic and Hearthstone.
Oh
Yeah.
fuck,
So yeah,
there goes
yeah.
my bank account.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, but there you go, guys. So, again, this is a high-level overview. We just wanted to show you that it's not vaporware; it's actually a product, and there will be a major social element to this as well. Just like we have our guild in Splinterlands, this faction will be in Magic World now. And like Owen said too, I want to elaborate on that a little bit. So, there is about 2 weeks, maybe a little bit longer of the mint remaining. So I know a lot of you have been inundated with our own NFT mints, and with the holidays, things are hectic. But this will be open for the next few weeks, or until I think it's what 20,000 NFTs total for the first round. Owen, or is
Yeah,
that
for
okay?
these specific, we may end up lowering that cap.
Okay.
We didn't want to sort of put a early cap on what that demand would be, but this is really about the people who want to get in early and like be early users of the game.
For sure. Yeah.
It's
And,
specifically designed for people who want that and
no,
want the alpha.
no doubt. And to Owen's point a little bit earlier about faction number. So again, I know a lot of you have already minted. And if you haven't minted yet, you want to mint, I would suggest doing it sooner than later. Again, not financial advice, but you will be assigned a number based on when you minted. And so the lower that number, the more perks we may be able to offer. I know as a guild or faction, we'll be able to incentivize some of those lower mint numbers. And I know on Owen's side as well, there's some cosmetic things that we've been
It's
talking about.
also like the
Totally,
biggest flex. Like,
totally,
can you imagine like EMP with the 20K faction and your number like 50?
exactly.
Like you're just that fucking guy.
Yep, you're the
Like
OG. I love it, totally. So yeah, again, there is a bit of FOMO, but I don't want you guys to feel like you're gonna
yeah,
miss
yeah,
out totally.
sorry.
So no,
I get too
absolutely,
excited
bro.
myself.
No, I love it, and that's what I get passionate about too. I've been talking to Owen about this literally for months. I know, every AMA we do, it seems like we have another partnership, but these take months to put together, and I've been following what Owen and Magic have been doing. A proven team with a proven track record, that is now again moving into a much more sustainable model that helps everybody involved. So we're excited, man. 2023 is going to be amazing. So I want to take a few questions. So let me go ahead and stop the screen share on my end, and then let me look at the questions on YouTube. If you guys have some questions for Owen before we let him go, please ask them in the chat. But LA or Bull, you guys want to kick it off? Any questions so far? Well,
Yeah,
go ahead, Bull. Yeah.
I see one. Yeah, here. Male 683 on YouTube says, "Will there be any LPs on Spooky Swap?"
Yeah, probably. We right now the LP is primarily on Magic Swap, which is a DEX that Jimmy launched, um, and there's also some nominal LP on Spirit Swap. We'll probably end up deploying LP on Spooky Swap too, yeah, but not at present.
Okay, killer. Well, and to that point too, Owen, maybe one thing we glossed over a little bit, there is going to be a staking option on the NFTs. So twofold. Say, maybe I want to buy more than one NFT, for different characters, and to be able to stake. And then number two, maybe I'm not as, into the gameplay, but I still want to earn. Are those both options for multiple NFTs?
Yeah, but those will be hard capped.
Okay.
Certainly, the 20,000 will be the cap, but I mean, depending on mint demand, that cap will be lower.
Okay.
If we
Perfect.
get to the beta launch and we don't hit that 20 cap, we'll probably just cap it there.
All right. There you go. So making them even more rare. And then I did have a question earlier. I don't know if it's in the chat, but will these NFTs be transferable, or once you redeem them, that's it, right? Because you're getting phantom and gas fees, and items. So once they're,
Oh yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
so I
Yeah.
mean, so basically the way to think about it is that the NFT that you're minting on BSC, it's a piece of art, a fun piece of art which acts as a receipt for your wallet. And then when the beta launch comes, we that's an identifier that we use to airdrop like a bunch of other items. So you could decide to, trade that receipt if people, want that art. And then obviously the airdropped items and stuff. Once we have an auction house in game, um, oh, here's a nice little tidbit. Since, characters are tied to wallets, once we implement a mailbox system, you'll be able to send NFTs just directly to usernames as opposed to having to, copy paste wallet addresses. You'll be able to have friends lists and stuff like that. So it'll sort of bring a more sort of gaming Web 2 feel to some of the Web 3 stuff. That's sort of our goal
Totally.
with this. But I don't mean to get too off topic.
Yeah, no, I love
Um,
that. Well, and that does answer because again, I think that I think it's better. And correct me if I'm wrong, Owen, but if you attune, this NFT or starter pack is almost the way of getting into the game, and then there's ways inside the game to actually monetize, things rather than speculating on the NFT itself, or transferring. Again, these are utility-based NFTs that give you access to the game with the rare items. And again, once they have the internal economy developed, then yeah, I mean, these detonators that are going to be the rare weapon, other people from other factions may want that and be able to buy it off you, if you're willing to sell it.
that's
So
what I'm
yeah,
saying.
totally, yeah. So yeah, it's a and that's what I'm bullish on. I mean, I think a lot of people um have amazing gameplay but a shitty economy, and a lot of people have an amazing economy but shitty gameplay. And I'm really confident that you guys are going to be able to have the best of both worlds. So yeah, there you go. There's a little fight action going on. Let's see. Yeah, I'll have to pull up the stream again. Are you? Let me hang on one second before you uh kill him. Let me pull it up, Owen. One second. Just to show everybody that it is working. One moment. All right, go for it. So, a little battle royale. Go ahead, man. I don't
Oh,
know.
well, so you can't take damage in town is the only thing. And
Oh,
I
that's
also,
right. You gotta go on that. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So look, I love it. Even the messaging is working. I mean, again, you guys have an amazing product already, and it's just the alpha version. So all right, let's see.
Oh yeah, so in this version, he's not going to be able to enter because right now it's gated. You have to pay 10 Magic. So I
Okay,
paid, I don't know, yesterday or something, and so the game remembers that I paid that admission.
gotcha.
But in the next patch, we'll have a live system, which is a lot more fluid. This is a little high friction for the moment.
All right, well there you
But
have it.
we'll
It
have
is.
that up soon.
All
It'll
right,
be great.
cool. So yeah, all right, Bull or LA? Any other questions that I missed?
Crusader has a voice question.
Absolutely, go ahead, Crusader.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask a quick question about the new Magic game. So I don't see it listed on playtoearn.net, and I think that is definitely an opportunity you should take advantage of. And they have social scores and everything listed on there for new up and coming games. So
Great
yeah,
Is that with
suggestion.
its
Yeah.
two?
I'm sorry, what was that?
That's the number two? Or
That's the
play
website,
TO?
playtoearn.net.
Yeah, but it's like play the number two or play TO.
TO.
Okay, gotcha. Thanks.
Yeah, that's the
No,
website I
thank you. I really
usually.
appreciate it.
Yeah, that's the website I usually go to find new MMO games or metaverse projects. Never disappoints. And then also, while I have the mic, I wanted to ask AJ a question for
Yeah.
the EMP. So I wanted to know more about the Up EMP token sale that's coming up tomorrow. Like, from my understanding, it's basically just another token that's pegged to EMP, but you have to redeem your tokens for you have to put up your EMP tokens for Up EMP, and then will it have a detonator system similar?
Yeah.
How will that work?
So let's finish up with Magic Crusader, and then I'm gonna go into that big time at the end of this AMA. But the short answer is yeah, you basically are minting up EMP with EMP, and it's collateralized with EMP. So the idea is that because there's a buy and a sell fee, the token the up EMP token always appreciates and then can be redeemed for more EMP than what you put in if the price appreciation is high enough. So I'm going to go into that again in about 20 or 2 more minutes here. I want to get a few more questions with Owen. And then as far as a detonator as a service or part of our core detonator implementation, that's definitely a possibility. So again, we haven't made an announcement on that, but obviously we want to, encourage, um, volume in that. So yeah, no doubt, bro. I'll get more to it. Thanks for your question.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, awesome. I look forward to seeing this new Magic game listed on Play to Earn. And then also, what's the status of Bitcoin?
yeah, so that's another one. Again, man, we're still doing some more due diligence into it, but so far I'm liking what I see, and it's been very beneficial to the e-share price. So anybody that builds, and this is a perfect example with Magic and everybody else, anybody building for the EMP ecosystem, as long as we can verify that there's no malicious code or way to actually hurt EMP, then I'm all for it, man. So yeah, no major alpha yet, but definitely a fan, and we'll see what happens early next year for sure.
Awesome. Thank you for those answering my questions. And this game also reminds me of a Union Cross from Kingdom Hearts. I don't know if you guys know about that game.
Hell yes.
Kind of. I see the similarity. I see the
Hell yes.
progress. Awesome.
So just a little bit of background, like Jimmy, the one of the founders and core devs behind Magic, was like a RuneScape maxi back in the day. Was like buying and selling gold, like 100% into this shit. He this has been his live stream, kind of all of ours, in a way. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%.
There's a few other developers around this space that same thing, RuneScape, selling gold like crazy.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
and
it's
yeah,
a common theme between yeah. I mean, it's not that surprising, right? Because it's like DeFi
No.
attracts people who are into sort of free markets and into
Well,
tech and into games.
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
Bull, you did a whole friggin' thesis on that about how
yeah,
gaming is the precursor to crypto. So yeah, go ahead, Bull.
yeah,
Would love to hear more
yeah,
on that.
man.
Yep.
Yeah, man. It's just every video game, almost every video game is about farming or yielding an economy based game, and so where like DeFi, it's technology has taken the place of you having to click that X button or this, if you're using your, WASD, it takes the place of you having to commit those actions like physically. The code does it all for you. So everybody that's played a video game has actually like trained for a crypto career because almost every single video game is really truly about resource collection and how effective you are at that because it's numbers on the screen, it's gathering resources, it's farming, it's yielding, it's grinding. It's exactly like what's done in crypto.
And managing them too.
Yeah.
Like you can't shoot your wad on like that
Mhm.
one staff you want at the auction house. You're going to be screwed on the rest of your setup.
Yeah, totally. And that's why, like, it's effective, like, how effectively you do that. But the principles are like exactly the same. That it's the reason why, like, I'm amazed that there's not more crossover from gamers to this because, well, I'm not, because like, it was kind of touched on, either the economy sucks or the game sucks. Very few games get both right. There's no reason to come in and play a game that's no fun, even if you can earn money. Like,
so this is, I'm sorry not to this is
you're good, man.
one of the reasons we're being a little vague on some of these
Sure.
answers is because we need to have feedback before we
Yep.
commit to certain aspects of the game economy.
sure.
Because there's no way to know how users will use things until they use them. That was the dumbest sentence I've ever articulated, but there you go.
Yeah.
No, like
No, we
it's
get
true
it.
though. Like you don't know until you know. It's you have to build the system so that there's fluidity to it because if like if you build like you guys spend 10,000 hours on this game and put $1 million into it and you renounce the contract where nothing can ever be touched again, well, like you might as well go out, make yourself a little boat, set it on fire, and then kick it off into the water and see what happens.
So what's nice about this is we can actually we can commit. We haven't done this yet, but we can ultimately, I believe, commit to renouncing many, if not all, of the contracts associated with the game. They're actually fairly simple. Underpinning it because a lot of the sort of data handling is done on servers. But sort of long-term sort of transferring that data onto a decentralized network would be the goal.
Sure. Well, yeah, I guess I don't want to get into that, but I guess the point is that at the end of the day, if you want gamers to come play play to earn games, they have to be fun. And I've actually, many times tried to pay my like nephews to play games, and they're like, not really any fun. I'm like, but I'll pay you. And they're like, I'd still rather pay to play like another game instead of getting paid to play a game. And so it really just comes down to, is a game fun? And I think it's a tough thing to pull off. So like I'm really hopeful here because you guys have experience with economy building. I know you're an artist by trade. And so I look at this and say, okay, perfect. You have all of the pieces in place. And like you said, you have to wait for a little bit of feedback to figure out what you think is going to be the most effective use, like of the world, I guess.
100%. We have no illusions about this being sort of a 2-month go-to-market project. Our sort of long-term game, we've been we built a first iteration, which was done, I think, in July, and it sucked, and we scrapped it. And then we started from scratch and built this. And this is where we've gotten, and we expect, to be an order of magnitude better in 6 months. The goal is to evolve along with the community and the users that come with us, and to have them be, sort of engaged part of that process. And also, yeah, I mean, your points about like the difficulty involved here are very well taken. And that's also why we want to sort of go slow in sort of making some of those types of commitments, because it's very, you don't want to like dilute. I mean, one of the novel concepts we're playing with are like ERC20 consumables. Like what if factions could sort of, maybe not on a player level, but on a faction level, could protocols be in competition for in-game resources to distribute to their users? I think that is kind of an interesting idea, because it abstracts the sort of play to earn elements away from sort of the users themselves and puts them on sort of quote unquote institutions. But I want to tread very carefully there. Yeah.
And it would be awesome if you were, like if a chain existed that could communicate with all the chains, and, instead of, the problem with crypto is like everybody is so chain agnostic or, loyal to their chain that we miss out on capturing people. So the ability to reach across and have a like Magic World on a place where we could, where you could capture, ETH users, BNB users, AVAX users, Phantom users, Solana, like all over the place, because like that's something like that I look forward to in the future to, kind of tie everybody together, and make people realize that we're all in this boat together, if you will, instead of, sticking to, that chain that you grew up on, so to speak.
I think from a tech standpoint, we're actually not that far away. Like if you think about it, 2 years, DeFi was barely a thing. Yep. Like in 2 years, I have no doubt that the sort of cross-chain solutions that exist will make what we're doing today seem completely primitive and insane. Like I've heard it described like it feels like 56K or something when you're using Web3 sometimes. And that's true. But I think, I don't know, there are a lot of protocols I'm seeing that it's really starting to change fast, where like a lot of the experiences are becoming more Web2-like. And I think we can really take advantage of some of this new tech that's being developed to, build a really seamless user experience so that we can actually attract, a gaming market that maybe isn't native to DeFi.
Yeah. It truly, like, it's about removing that friction point, because if, like the best example obviously is like, it's so easy to purchase on Amazon, right? Like you swipe on your phone and that stuff shows up at your doorstep, later that day or the next day. If crypto had a seamless experience like that, to get users in to play games, like we would have massive adoption. And like, frankly, like crypto, like there couldn't be a more perfect like template to bring gamers in. It's just that, the game and the economy, like, and removing those friction points and making it, like I said, accessible and easy to get to for everybody. But, I think the technology, like you said, is a lot closer than most imagine. And, that's what I really am looking forward to, because we have to break down like those barriers to entry, because like this really isn't this tough. Like, like I'm absolutely certain like somebody could hop onto Magic World and have like and be a pro at it in no time, because like you're not reinventing the wheel. You're using like I would imagine tried and true methods, like you said, back to Web 2.0, wherever like. Are you using WASD like command like on your keyboard?
So it's not clear in this patch, but in the subsequent patch, you have WADs and 1, 2, 3, 4 for spells. We'll have you'll have more than 4 spell slots. It's just one thing at a time.
One last question. Yeah, what engine is this? Did you like? Is this port in from like Morales template, or like is the engine from Unity? Okay,
Unity engine. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Perfect.
And Owen,
That's it.
yeah, no, great questions, Bull. And I haven't even asked you this, Owen. How many people are on the actual dev team right now, as far as both, Web3 and then game development? I know, you guys have had a solid team from the get, and I know you're amazing at bootstrapping, which is another thing that I love, is that, you're able to take very minimal capital and make it go a long way. So, yeah, are you able to
That's
answer
what
that?
it's. I mean, it's what we've had to do. You know, we've sort of been lean and mean since the jump by necessity.
For sure.
So the team basically was completely sourced from the community. I came to advise the project. I was a holder, and so was the game developer. So were actually everybody, literally everybody involved with the project, which is amazing to see. So there is Hard Disk, who works on the game development team, does maps and terrain stuff. Our lead game developer, Kyle, who does, the bulk of the shit. He's absolutely incredible. And then Jimmy, who is our lead smart contract developer. And then there are a number of people who we work with sort of on and off, like in a pretty regular capacity. Vincent, who does some OPSEC work for us pretty regularly, and Jumpman, who does some front end work for us. But,
Perfect.
as far as people who are sort of day to day, it's those guys.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, and I know we've discussed this too. As you guys scale, you bring on the more help that you need, and it snowballs from there. So yeah, no, I'm excited, man. Well, all right, bro. I want to be real respectful of your time. I think we went over a lot. The only a few other things I want to clarify, and by all means, if somebody has one more last minute question, please type it in YouTube. But we kind of glossed over this even in our announcements. But if you bought a power up NFT, you will be getting airdropped one of these NFTs for Magic World. So, Owen, I'm sure you guys have all that data on chain, and then they'll just get the NFT to whatever wallet they use to mint the power up when this is closer to the launch, correct?
Well, that's the beauty of the blockchain. Every NFT is literally the easiest. I mean, it is an identifier. It is
Totally.
tied to that wallet, and we can just very easily facilitate that airdrop.
All right, awesome. Well, there you go, guys. If you got a power up, you're already $50 to the good. So, and again, just to be clear, the pre-mint or pre-sale of these NFTs, they are actually minting as we speak. But pre-sale meaning, before the game officially launches. They're $50 in BUSD. Please join our actual dedicated link. It'll be in all of our socials, and that will make sure that you're part of the EMP faction. And if you don't want to be part of the EMP faction, which I don't know why you wouldn't, because we're going to own everybody. But yeah, you can also mint on other chains and other factions as well. But and will those prices be going up, Owen, after launch, or what's the model as far as
We
yeah,
hadn't thought that we would need
far?
a sort
Yeah.
of raising pricing model because
Okay.
it's time limited.
Yep, 100%.
If you want to talk about introducing some sort of mechanic, as we could do that, but I don't think we'll need it.
Yeah, I agree. So the idea, and that goes back to earlier, you're not, this is going to be access, and the earlier you get access to those faction numbers are really what is going to drive the FOMO. And again, we'll be doing some internal giveaways as well for those of you that mint these NFTs. And then again, we'll be coordinating giveaways as well with Magic World directly on special cosmetics or different things for the guild based on your number. So again, and really the monetization comes from again the in-game items, the in-game economy, not flipping the NFTs for more profit. So again, and that's what I love. We're innovating. I mean, again, NFTs that have use case, and utility are the way of the future, and this is essentially your ticket to participate in the Magic World arena. So yeah, awesome, Owen. Well, I don't see any other questions. Was there anything else you wanted to say before you go? And then we'll wrap it up with a few updates for our own community. But yeah, go ahead, Owen.
No, just another thank you to you all for, coming out and taking a listen. And hope to be seeing more of you guys soon.
Amazing, brother. Well, yeah, I know you're pretty active in our Discord, and obviously, if people want to jump over to the Magik Discord, I know you guys are a lot more active over there rather than Telegram. And yeah, he's always available to answer questions. They have a great community, and you know, we're on the ground floor. So again, they have really reworked their entire ecosystem. Their base tokens, Magik and mShare, are now all supply capped. So that's really bullish. I know the auto vaults are continuing to burn EMP every single day. So that's really bullish. Again, we love you guys. We appreciate the partnership and everything that we're putting together. And just like EMP, 2023 will be a big year for all of us, even with a potential prolonged bear market for sure.
Oh man, we were made for this time.
Yeah, totally,
We were
bro.
born
Yeah,
for it.
I love it. Yes, if you're
And
still,
thank you
yeah,
guys so much
yeah,
again. I mean, really, I can't tell you how much it means.
yeah, no doubt, Owen.
You're the best.
Thanks, brother. We appreciate it. And yeah, like Owen said, if you're still here, you're gonna make it. I mean, again, all of us have been through the shit for the last, year, and it could be another year, but at least we know we're building in bear markets and helping to further adoption. So, all right, Owen, awesome, bro. We'll catch you soon, my friend.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
All right, cheers. So, all right, everybody, we're going to do some updates and then we will wrap it up as we get close for the holidays. I know I'm looking forward to taking a few days off and spending some time with the family, but we do have some loose ends we need to wrap up before then. So, one moment while I pull up my notes. And Bowler LA, was there anything else you wanted to cover before I go into some last minute updates?
All good.
All right, perfect. So here we go. Again, shout out to Magik. We'll definitely have him back on as the development progresses. Definitely, not financial advice, but try to pick up one of those NFTs if you're at all interested in playing this game, either now or eventually, to make sure you get your OG status with the earlier mint numbers. And again, I'm excited to see how it all progresses. So we'll have more on that coming. But back to Crusaders question, and a lot of question on everybody's mind is our Up EMP partnership. So please go and listen to the AMA from yesterday. We had two AMAs yesterday. One was with a crypto tax expert, Neil McSpadden. That one was amazing. We're going to have him back for an ongoing series with that. So that's exciting. Again, completely free of charge. Just a way that EMP is able to provide value to all of our users and crypto users as a whole. And then the other AMA was with Up EMP. The people from Up Finance were on again. Jason Baxter and Nick or NB. Their lead developer gave a great discussion on the tokenomics of these Up tokens, and Up EMP is the first partnership with Up Finance. So, just to give another quick high-level overview, you are using EMP to mint Up EMP, and that EMP then goes into a treasury. And that treasury or holding wallet, again, not to be confused with our own treasury. This is something totally different, where it's a backing treasury or collateralized pool that essentially always makes the price of Up EMP increase because of the in and out fees on minting and redeeming that token. So it's a very, very unique economic model. We have a full breakdown of how it works, along with visual aids and the actual percentages on the in and out fees on our white paper. So again, the docs section of EMP now has a new white paper area of Up EMP, and that will explain everything you need to know Again, a high-level overview, it's 8% to mint and 8% to redeem. So that's a total of 16% round trip that are the fees. So you do have to be in the Up EMP ecosystem or token long enough that the price appreciation outpaces that total of 16%. But it could happen really fast, depending on the volume. So again, these sort of tokens really rely on volume. Because the more people buying and selling, the more it pushes the price up over time. And it's really just a way to lock up a bunch of EMP, a way to earn on your EMP without selling it. And as long as you have a long-term time horizon, the idea is that you get more EMP out of it than what you put into it. So, and even if we're, not having a lot of volume, we're able to supplement that treasury backing directly with our own EMP from the treasury, which will also help increase the price. So again, it's very unique. I know it sounds too good to be true, but the token always appreciates, and then when you redeem, you get your EMP at whatever multiplier is from that price appreciation. So again, we're starting at 1 to 1. One EMP is one up EMP, but the higher the price of up EMP goes, you can essentially view it as a multiplier on how much EMP you're able to withdraw on redeeming. So yeah, does that? I don't know, Bull, if you want to add to that, or yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah, totally. And so personally, I don't think like it's a unique concept. I think it's already in practice. And like I talked about this the other day with a little group, but so like if you stake LP, and just bear with me here, people, but I will make a point. If you look at LP and you stake it like on a DEX, you get a transactional fee, right? And that's your reward for supplying LP to the DEX so that they can make a return on their emission. And so the evolution. So let me back up. We started off being able to make profit through arbitrage on centralized exchanges. When DEXs were created, we were able to participate in either staking or arbitraging also on DEXs. However, something that's happened that I think has escaped people is that when you put LP on a DEX, like you get a small percentage of that transactional profit that's created. However, here at EMP, you get 100% of the profit created from the staking of your LP. You become the DEX, right? And like for instance, Up, that is just a way for you to earn basically on what you're able to create in this ecosystem. And so you're rewarded for creating, like transactional volume or being able to be rewarded for all of the transactional volume on that. So the concept already exists. It just looks slightly different. It comes in a different package, but it's still, you owning it and then being able to be rewarded for your participation in transactions and the value that it creates. And so not, like it's not that I'm bashing on it, but like I think that the concept already exists. It just happens to look a little bit different. But it's the same thing, like the way that DEXs were built. I think seigniorage protocols are the next evolution of DEXs because instead of relying on somebody else to custody your stuff, you custody it and you're able to receive 100% of the benefit of staking that LP and the transactions that are taking place, on the ecosystem, both in the negative way and the positive way. And so this is the same thing with Up, maybe without the exception of the negative side of it, where we should see, positive growth through transactions. And like I said, at the end of the day, like I think it's a very similar, if not the same concept, just in a different wrapper. And it's an evolution of, like I said, of staking your LP on a DEX or your assets on a DEX to earn something and being rewarded for a pittance of that transactional volume here at EMP, here with EMP staking it or minting it into up EMP, you're rewarded 100% commensurate with like your share of the pool.
For sure. No, and again, I mean, it is like a an LP, only it's protocol owned or contract owned, meaning that the liquidity is in the contract. So it's not like you're going to be able to, and we may end up making an LP pair out of this down the road. But to begin with, it's not something you're transacting with on PancakeSwap. It's a contract where you're minting and redeeming with the up EMP contract directly. And like Bull said, providing EMP into that is a very similar mechanism of providing LP into a typical, decentralized pair. So, yeah, and again, I mean, I don't want to overly complicate it. Another way to look at it is, basically just staking your EMP, and then rather than being rewarded through inflation or other outside, rewards, you're rewarded through the contract directly for holding. And so, again, or selling. I mean, that's the other beautiful part, and that is something that is revolutionary with this concept is that it's backed by a price appreciating asset. So, rather than BUSD and BNB would be the same, but the idea is that as EMP goes up in price, now people may be incentivized to sell their EMP or sell their up EMP for more EMP because EMP is going up. That again is beautiful because when people sell up EMP, that also pushes the price up. So again, it's a lot to take in. I think looking at the white paper will really help you. And the long story short is, nobody should be going all in on anything that we offer. And again, that's not financial advice, but this is just yet another way to earn in the ecosystem. And I think that it's going to be majorly beneficial, not only for you as a possible additional, revenue stream or way to earn under your EMP that you have just sitting doing nothing. Again, the best way is to put it to work in the pools or the farms, but if you have extra, then put it in and put it in some up EMP. And then my point is that it locks up a ton of EMP. Even now, we did a very small pre-sale, and there's already $25,000 worth of EMP that is in this backend treasury. And as we move forward, that will only hopefully get bigger and bigger. And a large percentage of that not only goes to locking up more EMP, but it also goes to burning EMP. So it's a win-win for everybody involved. And we've seen Peg looking really good over the last few days as far as stopping the bleeding and hopefully trying to push for a recovery when the ecosystem is ready for that. Again, in early 2023. That's why we want to get all of these things out and working as we continue to build for next year. So, all right. And so as far as the launch goes, if you submitted to the whitelist, um, that is basically granting you access to the pre-sale. So right now the pre-sale is happening. It will happen for a few more hours. Again, let me go over the actual dates. LA, do you have that? That's not on my list. I just don't want to say the wrong thing. So when does the pre-sale end?
Yes, let me just grab it real quick. All right, so the pre-sale is going to end at 11 p.m. tomorrow.
Perfect.
That's Eastern time, so that's 4 a.m. UTC.
All right, so
and then the public sale will start tomorrow night at midnight.
Correct. So yeah, and again, I know people get confused with midnight. So we're saying 11:59 p.m. Eastern tomorrow is the actual public sale. So if you don't know about the whitelist, then all you have to worry about is the public sale. If you were able to get on the whitelist, you have the next few hours until 11 p.m. tomorrow night to get your EMP redeemed. Again, you have to use that 1,000 EMP to actually buy up EMP before that window closes. Then the contract fees will be initiated. Again, the whole idea of the pre-sale is that you get in without those initial fees, and that's just so that we can seed the liquidity in that holding wallet. And again, it's very minimal compared to the volume that we're going to be doing over time. So I'm excited. I think it's going to be again just another benefit to the EMP ecosystem. And those that get in early are going to have again a lot of initial price appreciation, and then over time, those that hold longer will also get price appreciation. So, and the whole idea is that it's okay to sell the up EMP for more EMP. Then you put that EMP to work. So, again, we'll talk more about this after everything is live. We'll have a lot more use cases for both EMP and up EMP. And again, maybe even a future detonator with an LP pair with up EMP. So to answer Crusader's question from earlier, that is definitely on the table. So and again, the more volume that up EMP does buying and selling, that's what really makes the token skyrocket. So we want to encourage people to buy and sell up EMP, um, which is again a very counter intuitive to just EMP itself. We don't want people selling EMP alone, but if they wrap it as up EMP to earn more EMP, you can sell up EMP and it doesn't affect the ecosystem. So a lot of benefits. Again, I know on the surface it's a bit complicated, but everything we do here at EMP is cutting edge DeFi, and that's one of the reasons we've been so successful even during a horrible bear market. So, all right, LA or Bull, anything else in regards to up that I need to go over or clarify? All right, I think we're good then. So, all right, and then the other update is Power Up NFT. So, I know we had said 14 days after mint. We're getting close to that deadline, and we should be able to have the UI for claiming up very shortly. We're in the very final stages, and should be able to meet that. Um, and we even may have a surprise on making them even more attractive when they go live. So again, appreciate everybody's patience, but the Power Up claim page should be live very shortly. And keep an eye on our Telegram and Discord, all of our socials, for not only the link, but an update that says it is live. Now, remember, on ETH mainnet, gas fees are expensive. So unless you have a ton of power-ups, you may want to wait to claim. Again, we've said once a week. We may have a surprise on the once a week a variable, but I would suggest again making sure your rewards accumulate so that you can claim when it makes most sense as far as claiming fees. So, and again, I mean, we're not talking anything crazy. I think it's about zero point 0.5, so 50 cents to claim based on the contract. That's one thing that was taking a while. I know a lot of you might remember from the Sentinel Squadron launch. We're trying to reduce the gas fees as much as we can. So it's been a lot of back and forth on ETH mainnet to make sure we get you as much profit as we can and not waste it on fees. So again, we'll have all that updated ASAP for people that are ready. And it's the same URL that you minted from will be the claim page. So, and again, don't fall for any scams. Make sure you follow our socials for the exact link. So, all right, that's really all the updates. Just another quick note. Again, with the holidays being crazy, I want to spend some time with my family. I know the team has been nonstop, so I think that we're probably going to do the next AMA sometime early next week, which means we get about 4 or 5 days over the next few days to take a break. But we'll let you know on that. Again, I can't stay away. I like you guys too much. So, but yeah, we want to wish all of you again a very happy holidays, Merry Christmas, whatever you celebrate, and make sure to unplug over the next few days from DeFi. We're not going anywhere. Staring at the chart doesn't help, and reach out to any of us if you're feeling a little lonely over the holidays. Feel free to send me a DM. I love hearing from all of you. So, Bowler LA, any final words as we wrap up this year? Extremely strong. I can't wait for what next year has in store.
Yeah, just a very happy holiday and Merry Christmas to all of you. And thank you to each and every one of you for just making this community so amazing and a place that we all can't stay away from and want to spend time in every day. And I'm really looking forward to everything we're building and everything we're going to build and achieve together next year.
100%. Bull, how about you, bro? Are you frozen yet? I think it was like negative 40 where you are. Oh my God, man. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. With wind chill, it's super brutal here, but and of course we like I told LA, we had saw a little kitty outside, so I'd spent the morning looking around for her to see if she had found a safe spot to tuck into, and it's not like it's of course we like our cat here, but like we do that for anybody, for any people, like anywhere you're at, of course, because that's what this community is about, truly. We look at it like as a family to make sure that we're looking after like the ecosystem. I always say, like, when you go to somebody's house, you treat somebody else's house better than like you would treat your house. And so that I think that's kind of the ethos that is here, like in this community, is like we're always looking out for one another. We're always building like ideas here that like are unique, special. That doesn't mean just the contracts, right? It's the ethos of the community. It's the way that we show up, and like everything here, like it's genuine, right? We care about one another, and that goes, I think, a long way. I think we've all talked to enough people to know, like, I'll say this very bluntly, I guess, like most people have a real good bullshit detector. And like in a lot of DeFi projects, like that gets set off and like, oh yeah, like that, I don't know if I trust that bozo. But ultimately, like I look at it like this, all of DeFi is a work in progress, right? And are there things that we could have done better like in 2022? Yes. But I think we've done an amazing job. Everybody in the community here has, done an amazing job of like, being diamond handed and having like that strong steely resolve that I think is going to be, well rewarded when the bear market ends and the bull market comes back. That's not to say that we're always looking for, just kind of limping along. And, AJ, I've been, I added something to like your line about like building for sustainability. I've been saying, yeah, of course, man. We're building for not just sustainability, but for profitability, because we want to make sure that those things go hand in hand. And, with the final form, that is going to be like the heavy focus of, the people that own this ecosystem, sharing in the revenue. And there's so many different pieces that are put in, are really kind of finalized. Some of it's not in code. There's a lot of other ideas that we have that are going to require some due diligence to get to, that will turn this from a crypto project to a crypto business, so that all of the people here can see that that this final form isn't just vaporware. I don't think that anybody should think that based on the track record here, but even if they are, I know we've talked about this idea and what it, kind of, not really said too much about it, but, we have said, like it is going to focus heavily on revenue sharing. And, we can look at this project, EMP as a protocol and say like, yeah, it's done pretty well. Like, if we just look at the day-to-day numbers, like those APRs, like you say, don't look the sexiest, but they're still there. But like, I think the one thing that we tend to forget about, because we've been below peg for so long, that there are many, many, many people here that have done extremely well, have actually taken profit. There's people that have bought cars and paid for houses, and it's something that, like, I think it's overlooked here because we've been below peg for a while, and the APRs aren't so schmexy, but they're still there. And so in looking towards the future, like I see like really great things, and some, like you talked about, I think 2 days ago, the sort of Metamin yesterday, like every day blends together, but the unique concepts here to really help people understand that, turning this from a DeFi protocol like into a DeFi company, because I think we've been in the space long enough to understand like the barriers to entry, what projects are doing wrong, and then it's not throwing shade at anybody, but we can see like those issues, and those are issues that can really be capitalized on. And what does that mean? That means that if you're a first mover in the market, that you're able to capitalize on that, and capitalizing on that means that revenue comes back into this ecosystem to reward all of the people here that are holding EMP and eShare in that final form. And that's something that I'm really excited about, because there's a lot of creative people on this team. There are a lot of creative people like in this ecosystem that want to have like more a bigger role and more say, and share their ideas and really help take this thing to the next level. And we've seen a lot of people bring that to the table, and I think 2023 is going to be like an amazing year, because like the bear market isn't going to last forever, and the resolve that people are building right now, plus don't forget stacking LPs, when this overall market turns around and we start to see like that optimism return to crypto as a whole, all the resolve, all that kind of blood, sweat, and tears, all that like kind of that fear that people have, and that's cool if you have fear too. Everybody does. I think it's all going to be rewarded, because like I think personally, like this is the worst bear market ever, because in the past, bear markets have typically outside the financial markets have been good. So if your crypto portfolio sucked, like you probably weren't dealing with heavy inflation, your stocks might have been doing well, etc. But all of the tough conditions in the world, all of the tough conditions here in crypto, have really made this the scariest bear market, because there's a lot of reasons to be fearful in the world. But hey, look, it's Christmas time. And, even if you're not religious, everybody, I think, loves Christmas, because everybody's smiling, everybody's happy. Those nice Christmas songs are playing. We know that people love giving gifts, people love receiving gifts. And looking at just the good nature of people at this time of the year, it's a nice way to start that next year on that really positive note of, making sure that, you're taking time for yourself, giving things to other people, but rewarding yourself too for like all the hard work that you put in 2022. And then looking forward to 2023, really, really optimistically, because you've laid really good groundwork here, in the protocol. You've made smart investments, good choices, you've met good people, and you've built that foundation for 2023 to really, to use that as a good launching pad for 23 to really take us to the next level.
Yes, well said, Bull. Again, the infinite words of wisdom from our very own Bull Gates. But yeah, brother. All right, man. Well, we're gonna wrap it up. Again, if we did not get to your question, please feel free to leave a comment on this video. We'll get to it when we get back. Again, the next few days will be some family time for all of us here at EMP. But we're always putting things together. Literally today, I got another mid-major headway on another potential use case. So, there's never a dull moment at EMP, even if we take a little bit of a break from the AMAs. So, all right, everybody. Again, appreciate all of you. Hope all of you have an amazing time over the next few days. Stay warm. I know, good Lord. It's going to be like 30 degrees here in Florida. That's like unheard of. So, the high today was like 80, which I know none of you want to hear, but so we're going to spend some time outside, get away from the computer, and get ready for an awesome year ahead. So, all right, everybody, good night, good day, and Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to all of you.
Ho, ho, ho.
Bye bye.